effective leadership corner applied to study on ISO 22000 2018. Is my voice audible now?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay, thank you.
Please go ahead.
Okay. So leadership is one of the key elements in food safety management system. As per Bill Gates, as we look ahead into the next century, leaders will be those who empower the others. So if you want to have a food safety culture in your organization, you need to develop leaders in your organization. Now let's try to understand what are the values of a leader and what are his characteristics. Like leader has a vision and strategy. Leader knows about the vision and mission of the organization. So now what is the mission and vision? Vision is like where we want to be in future, and mission what we are doing now. So a leader knows gap between two, and then he makes the strategy to fill those gaps. And a leader helps in making value creation in the organization. He influences and inspires people. So leader is a person who follows all the rules and regulations which are established in an organization. For example, like hygiene regulations in the organization. If he is visiting the organization, he is visiting the facility, he is always following all the hygiene regulations, wearing hair nets, shoe covers, apron, and all those things, and other requirements which are established for high risk areas. And a leader is a risk taker, because a leader is a person who evaluates all the things present in their surroundings. He evaluates its environment within the organization. He takes the he makes the evidence based decisions. So since his decisions are based on the facts and data that are gathered by him, so his risk taking ability gets increased. And he is a person who motivates the other people. He is goal oriented, and he gets the things done through encouragement. So on the other hand, a manager is mainly focused on the policies and procedures of the organization. He is maintaining the value which is already there in the organization. He controls and monitors the other people's work, and he tries to minimize the risk. He micromanages the work. He is task oriented. He gets his work done through instructions. So a manager, managers and leaders, they both explain the vision. They act as coaches for the organization. They have strategic overviews. They meet goals and use resources effectively. Now let's how these values and how these traits are helpful in ISO 22000 leadership clause. So as per ISO 22000 FSMS, a top management has to demonstrate leadership qualities and commitment. So how the top management will demonstrate the leadership? So first is by establishing the food safety policy and objectives that are compatible with the strategic direction of the organization. So now what is the food safety policy? Food safety policy, it is like uh, these are the major objectives which are established by the organization. So the food safety policy, so as to implement the food safety policy, objectives are made, and then these objectives are further broken down at different levels. For example, they are broken down at the departmental level, at the managerial level, and till the employee level, the employee who is working at the shop floor, who is involved in day-to-day activities. So the objectives are broken down, and then they are sometimes the objectives are also made as part of performance appraisals. So what happens when they are made the part of appraisal, the performance appraisal, so it becomes a common goal for the whole organization. Next is the top management. It ensures the integration of food safety management requirements into the organization's business processes. The leaders ensure that the resources needed for FSMS are available. Fourth is the communication. So communication, it is the most significant trait of the leader. So the leaders are not the people who are just sitting in their cabins, in their workshops or silos and doing their works. They are the people who are just getting out of their offices. They are taking the view of the surroundings and within their organization. So these are the people who communicate with the workers, they communicate with their employees, they within the organization, they tell them about the statutory and regulatory requirements, they tell them about the mutually agreed customer requirements so that they are perfectly implemented in the organization. So, and the um, and the leaders outside the organization, they are communicating with the vendors, they are communicating with the customers, uh, they are communicating with the policy holders so as to get the view about the surroundings. So it helps them in making the decisions. They are also communicating with their employees, with the people who are working on the shop floor. They are asking them about the objectives and about the things that the employees are given to complete, and then uh, they they discuss the things with them, and they get to know what about the resources which are required for implementation of those objectives and for implementation of food safety management system in the organization. So the leaders, they ensure that the FSMS is evaluated and maintained at all the levels to achieve its intended result. They direct and support persons to contribute to the effectiveness of FSMS by delegating roles and responsibilities to the people. So when the roles and responsibilities are assigned to the people, they become accountable for their works. Okay, so then they become the part of the common goal, and they help in promoting the continual improvement through PDCA cycle. They support the other relevant management roles to demonstrate their leadership as it applies to their areas of responsibility. So they help in developing the leadership in other areas as well. So that all the people are on the same page and they are working towards the same goal. So leadership and commitment. Leaderships improve organization's effectiveness. They influence the organization effectiveness by motivating and inspiring the employees. So leaders, they act as role models for their employees. So they perform clear communication which helps the organization understand the vision and strategy. For business to thrive in future, they have to create a culture of innovation, agility, adaptability, and speed. Food safety policy. So again, it is the responsibility of top management to establish, document, maintain, and implement the food safety policy. And this policy should be communicated at all the levels in the organization. So a leader is a person who sets the direction because he is the person who understands the mission, statement, objectives, plans, and goals of the organization to be able to lead the team into realizing and achieving them. The success is the outcome of the direction set by the leadership because he is the person who is motivating the others and who is acting as a role model for others. So the people are following him. So if he has set the direction he has set the goals in the right direction, so then it is easy for the organization to achieve those goals. So the top management shall ensure the engagement of people by defining the roles, responsibilities, and authorities. So this is the top management's responsibility to appoint food safety team and food safety team leader. So food safety team leader is assigned person who ensures the conformance with the standard, and he is the person who is doing the reporting of FSMS performance. And he is also taking part in the documentations when the actions are needed. Then next is the emergency preparedness and response. So top management and the leaders, they are responsible for identifying the emergency situations. For example, COVID pandemic is there, then sometimes fire is there, then flood situations are there. So they need to identify all the emergency situations and then need to prepare plan for these emergency situations, and then they need to conduct the mock drills so as to test the effectiveness of these emergency preparedness and response plans. And this plan should be documented. This is the requirement of this clause. So next is the management review. So leaders are the people who are always available in all the meetings. May it be management review meeting or may it be internal meetings, which are done at organization level. So they are the people who are taking part in all the meetings. So the top management needs to conduct the management review meeting. So in the management review meeting, they will get to know the input of the management review meeting will be like the findings from the internal audits, the customer feedback, the findings from the verification activities. So on the basis of this, the management is going to take the decisions, and they will find the opportunities for improvement, and they will also find the needs if there are any needs for updating the food safety management system, and also the resources that needs to be revised or that needs to be implemented. Then next is the continual improvement. So there is a continual improvement in the organization through Pdca cycle. So it is also known as stemming wheel. Now what is this Pdca cycle? P means planning of the things. D means doing the things as per plan. C means checking the things if they are done well. And act means if the plans are not executed well, then again analyzing the situations and then making the reviewing and updating the plans. So if PDCA cycle is implemented at all level, then there is continual improvement in the organization. So next is update of food safety management system. So the top management shall ensure that food safety management system is continually updated. So this is continually updated as the top management is continually taking feedback through management reviews, through internal audits, through verification activities, because this is the quality of the leadership, that he has the ability to listen to others, to patiently listens to others, and then to continually update the food safety management system. And then a leader is a food safety culture carrier. So a leader has immense knowledge of company values and is the ambassador for the firm. The influential leaders bring in new food safety cultures and set the trend that many others will follow. So thank you. This was a brief introduction about the clause leadership in food safety management system.
Thank you, Jaya. Thank you for this beautiful presentation. I would request Mr. Wakeel to present his views, his presentation, and after that we'll just take up some 2-3 questions. Over to you, Mr. Wakeel.
Good morning, everybody from Egypt. Our topic today is leadership as a cornerstone for food safety management system implementation. Thank you for Jaya. She discussed the requirement regarding top management in the food safety management system regarding ISO 22000 standard. Through my slides, I will talk about the auditing process at what the auditor can face during the audit, and what type of leaders you can face during the audit, and how you can handle the audit process to achieve the total goal of the auditing process, which is a continual improvement of the facility. As we see, or as we can say, that the top management is the driver, or who drive the leadership in the facility. And the top management, if they are believe in food safety management system and its effectiveness and its ability to improve the business, so the facility will be effectively implement the food safety management system. Otherwise, if the top management are not committed or are not believe in the food safety management system, so it's very difficult to the facility to improve the system regarding the requirement of ISO 22000. and also this can affect the business of the facility, the business objectives. Type of top management you can face during the auditing process. You can find some of the leaders of some of the top management are supportive and committed to food safety management system, and this will be so easy to the auditor to handle this audit process. You can also find some of the leaders or top management which are fair and incurious. Those they are not oppose any implementation, but also they are not believe in the importance of this food safety management system implementation. Also, you can face some of the top management who are antagonistic or opposed for food safety management system implementation, and they discuss that there is no importance for implementation of this management system. Just we need to take these certificates for client or for supporting our business. That's all. But they cannot believe that they are that this system can act as a tool for continual improvement in the facility. How can as an auditor, how can I handle this issue? The most effective weapon you can use in the auditing process is the effective communication. You have a lot of chances of communication with the top management, maybe during the opening meeting and closing meeting, also during interviewing, during the auditing process, also during daily briefing and break time. Sorry. So you can effectively communicate with the leaders during opening meeting. Opening meeting is the meeting which conducted in front of or before starting the auditing process. At this opening meeting, you can, most of the leaders and most of the top management attending the opening meeting, take care as an auditor, take care about your attitude, about your words, about your about your words regarding the food safety management system and its importance for the food safety, for the facility continual improvement. This can reflect to what extent this management system can be effectively important for the facility. Also, you can communicating the top management during closing meeting. At the closing meeting, the auditor start to mention the good point and also start to mention the non-conformities or the observations observed during the audit process. So also the auditor can use these points as a tool to reflect to the top management to what extent the ISO management system can affect the system and the business improvement. During interviewing the auditor, for example, you are auditing the clause number 5, which is talk about leadership and commitment. There is a lot of requirement required by the top management to be implemented through the requirement of ISO 22000. So this issue should be audited with the top management. So your attitude and your questions, and you can give a lot of information or data through your attitude and your personal words to the top management, that this requirement is very, very important, and ISO 22000 is very, very important to be implemented as a tool to improve the business, which reflect the profit and credibility of the company in the market share. Also, you can use a daily briefing meeting, which is conducted at the end of each day of auditing, as a tool also to reflect to the top management to what extent the facility are comply with the requirement, which now it's easy to be comply with the requirement, and they can start continual improvement, which also can affect your as a facility, the facility credibility and the facility business profit. Also, you can communicate the top management during different break time, lunch break time or tea break time. Also, you can use this tool and this weapon to contact the top management and reflect the importance of ISO 22000 to the facility. After you finishing the meeting, also there is another weapon or another tool you can use, which is the reporting. In the reporting, you in the food safety management system report, you mention as an auditor, you mention the audit summary. Also, you mention a documented finding or non-conformities. Also, this is very, very important. As you know, the leaders and top management will not go through, for example, 20 papers of audit report, but the top management need to know how the auditing process are conducted, if there is any defects or any points need to be improved. So the audit summary is a short sentences which not exceed for example 10 or 20 sentences. Through this audit summary, you can mention the good point. You can mention what are you observing during the audit. You can mention as an auditor to what extent you can find that the facility are comply with the ISO 20000 requirement. Also, the leader or the top management can read to what extent the facility are comply with the standard and how it's handled the standard in the facility through the non-conformity report, where the auditor mentioned the finding of non-compliance during the observed during the auditing process. So, as an auditor, be careful that all eyes looking at you. So, take care about your attitude. You should be committed to the audit plan. As an auditor, you should be committed to the audit timing and duration. Also, you should committed to closing meeting mentioned findings, gesture and communication language, voice tone. All this very, very, very important to the auditor. This reflected to the top management and all the facility staff, to what extent that this system is very, very important and can improve our business and our credibility in the market. So take care about this. As an auditor, you are the leader in this situation. As an auditor, you are the maestro responsible for achieving the goals from the auditing process, which is the continual improvement of the system in the facility. So if there is any deviation in the auditing process or there is a part in the auditing process, the first one who can blame is the auditor, because you are responsible to handle any issue or any hard situation or any undesirable situation during the auditing process with good communication skills and good gesture and good attitude to achieve the goal of the auditing process and to achieve the goal from the facility to go through the ISO 20000 auditing process, which is achieving continual improvement, achieving good credibility in the market, achieving the business profit in the market. Thanks for the audience, and now we are ready for any question.
Thank you, Mr. Wakeel, for this presentation. Since we are running out of time, I'll have 2 or 3 very quick questions. Jaya ji, you are able to hear me?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Could you hear the question or shall I repeat?
No, we
Shall
don't
I
hear
repeat
it.
the question?
Yes, please repeat.
Okay, can a leader fail in some situations? If yes, how to respond as a leader? Very brief question, very brief answer.
Okay.
Yes, should I answer?
Yeah. This question is to
Okay.
you, Jaya ji.
Okay, right, sir. So a leader can fail in many situations, like if the organization top management is not supportive, if there are time constraints, if there is unavailability of skill, if there is like economic climate is not conducive, and then the leader can success by making all these things positive, by turning around all these things.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll have another quick question. This question I am addressing it to Mr. Wakeel. Are you ready, Mr. Wakeel? This is a very brief question. You know, every human being or every leader has a belief system. Now, can a leader fail in some? Sorry, that I've already asked. To what extent leaders' beliefs can impact the food safety management system? This question is to Mr. Wakeel.
Yeah. Okay, by reflecting or go back to the ISO 22000 standard, and as Jaya mentioned in the presentation, that there is a lot of requirement regarding the top management as requested to implement by the top management as policy and objectives and management review and so on. When we are looking to this requirement, one of these requirements, the policy, this mean, as Jaya discussed, that it's mean the intent of the top management and the commitment of the top management regarding the implementation of the food safety management system. So how we can imagine that there is a food safety management system implementation in place in case of the leaders or the top management are not believe or are not committed to the food safety management system? I think it will be a disaster. So it will be just a paperwork to be discussed with the auditor, and then everything will go back as the real situation happened in the facility. So if the leaders are not believe in system implementation, so I think it will be very, very difficult to implement a food safety management system in place. Also, to implement a food safety management system, they need a lot of, for example, resources, for example, financial and human resources. And when we are talking about financial resources, the top management or the owner of the facility will say, oh, so you need money, you need more money. And this, I think it will be a problem for the will be a problem for the owners or the top management. So the top management should believe in the food safety management system requirement, should believe in the implementation of the system on the floor to achieve their goals through the continual improvement and through the increasing the credibility of the company in the market. And he should believe that by implementing a food safety management system in the facility, he can increase his market share for his products in the market.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wakeel. I have got a very quick question. Since we are today having one auditor and one implementer and the teacher, rather the professor. So, my screen is saying something else. Just a second. Okay, now there has always been a battle between implementer and the auditor, because the auditor always has a tendency to question to the implementer or to the end user. Now,
Madhu. No.
No.
Why this?
Oh, this is the general perception from the community. This is the general perception whenever there is an auditor, and now inside leaders are afraid of auditor questions for the benefit of the organization as a whole. So how do these leaders should handle the situation of an auditor point of view, as well as the point of view from the implementer and the end user? So over to both of you. So please throw some light on this.
Madhu, please, can you repeat the question again, because your voice is corrupted?
Okay, I'll repeat the question. What I want to say, I want to have your viewpoint as well as a viewpoint from Jaya ji. There is, I will not use the word battle again. The viewpoint of an auditor is different from the viewpoint of an implementer. Now for the leadership, it becomes difficult to satisfy both, because implementer is implementing the system as per the ISO and auditor is again auditing the system as per the ISO guidelines. Now there comes a end user, and that end user is the leader which we are referring to now. So how do this leader cope up with the situation of satisfying both the scenarios, implementer as well as the auditor? This was my simple question.
Okay, you can start, Jaya.
Yes, sir. So
Yeah.
since we are talking about food safety management system, okay, so the leader will refer to the requirements which are stated under the standard. Okay, so he will go with the viewpoint which is supporting the requirements which are written under FSMS, ISO 22000. Because here we are talking about food safety standard.
Sorry, Jayaji, I am not referring to any particular standard out here. I am referring to the viewpoint of an auditor as well as an implementer. So here the question is a generic question. It's not limited to food safety management system. So how does one leader handle this situation? And what is the best way to handle this situation?
Okay, Madhu. Let me say that if we are talking about system implementation, we are talking about three parties now. You are talking about the leaders and the auditor and the implementer, or for example, the consultant. If I understand your question, let me say that all these parts are in the same way, because all of them have the same requirement and have the same reference. So we cannot believe that, for example, the consultant is antagonist to the lead, the auditor, or vice versa. But all of them are working at the same way, at the same requirement, at the same reference. So how we can believe that there is some antagonism between them? So it's so easy for the implementer and the lead auditor to achieve the auditing process and achieve the certification process for the facility. Because when the consultant starting his process, he go back to the standard and read the requirement carefully and start with the facility to mention and discuss this point with the facility and help them to implement this requirement. That's point where the leaders or the facility leaders are engaged in already. And then after the consultant finishing the auditing process, the implementation of the food safety management system or any management system, now the facility are ready for auditing process or for certification process. What the auditor do? The auditor take the same requirement which are implemented in the facility by the consultant, okay, and start to check to what extent the requirements are achieved in the facility. So the leaders or the top management and the implementer or the consultant and the auditor, all of them are on the same way. So we cannot find any misunderstanding or any antagonistic situations between them. If I understand the question well, this is my answer.
Thank you so much. It was elaborate, and just one or two words from Jayaji also.
Yes. Yeah. So the leader will use his trait that he will listen patiently to both the parties. He will listen patiently to the implementer, and he will listen patiently to the auditor. And then he will assess like who is right, since both the people, the auditor and the implementer, they both have same goal. They both have same goal of implementation of food safety management system or any other objective. So then he will decide who is right, and then he will try to convince the other, because ultimate goal of both the people is both the people are same. It is the implementation